Hey, I'm so excited. I'm Keeyen Martin, and this is Pieces, an intimate look on my life and journey as an artist. Check it out.
I got places to be, things to see. Let's hit the road, it's time to go. What we waiting for? I'm gonna be living out of my suitcase. City to city, state to state, country to country, selling the hay. If that's what it takes, I don't mind living out of my suitcase. I love you in a special way. You are the one for me. With you, I will stay.
1, 2, 3, sing it! What is Pieces? What does it mean? Well, to me, Pieces can mean something totally opposite or totally similar to what Pieces means to you. Pieces is nothing more than you sharing the facets of who you are as a person. We all have broken pieces, we got hurt pieces, we got positive, negative, confident. I want to see what pieces make you up as a person. So there's so many pieces of Keeyen Martin. As you know, there's the outspoken Keeyen that will let you know how he feels when he wants to let you know. There's a kind Keeyen, there's a music business Keeyen, the Keeyen that likes to sing. But a lot of you may know, may not know, there's a part of Keeyen that is very insecure. And from finding security, I'm able to share it. And there's a part of Keeyen that probably not until maybe the past 2 years that actually felt like he was good enough. Who is Keeyen Martin? Keeyen Martin is a young guy born and raised in a single-parent household in Charlotte, North Carolina. Growing up, I just remember music. I remember family. I remember food. I love food. I remember just great times and great memories. I always remember music was a common thread that kept me going. It kept me focused. It was healing. And I grew up a church boy. At the age of 2, literally my routine would be homework after school, of course, and then after homework you do music, you know, on the piano. I just remember singing all the time in church choirs and school choirs, and I was always a young, small, skinny little boy that was always singing. I can remember that began to really become real. I knew that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I wanted to be a professional singer, a famous singer. Whitney Houston being one of the earliest voices I can remember. I just love the way she embodied heart in a song and emotion. And I was like, oh my gosh, how does she do this? And I wanted to be just like her. And then I got exposed to Donny Hathaway and Marvin Gaye and Maze featuring Frankie Beverly and Earth, Wind and Fire and Ella Fitzgerald and all these phenomenal artists. And I was like, yep, when I grow up I'm gonna be just like them. I want to touch the world.
Hey, I know you are the one.
So the journey continues. Travel down to Atlanta, Georgia. Not too far from North Carolina, but I was very hesitant. I was afraid because it was the first time I experienced that separation from my mom, from family, from friends. You know, growing up, you have that safety net and comfort of all those you love, and here I am. Oh, I'm about to pursue a dream in a city, in a world, in a community that has no clue who I am. And fortunately, it's been an amazing journey to be embraced by people that love you, people that support you, people that are like, oh my goodness, that's that boy that's singing. I'll be like, yeah, that's me. But it's really been a wonderful ride, and to have accomplished so many great things so early in my career, I'm nothing but blessed. I'm nothing but thankful. I can remember when I first arrived at Morehouse College. Shout outs to Morehouse. I remember I was kind of taken aback attending an all-male school by having this morale and prestige as though Morehouse man, you can tell a Morehouse man something but you can't tell him much, you know. And it was a lot of growing I had to do because there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of support, but at the end of the day, Morehouse grooms you to becoming the best version of who you're designed to be, which I'm forever grateful for that. I think, well, this is my first time performing. Well, this is my first time performing it here, yes, in AUC, but not my first time performing an original song. And it's titled Can It Be Restored? And it pretty much is a song about love lost, asking, you know. I remember my freshman year, I was blown away as a music major, walking into a rehearsal, having to sing behind Aretha Franklin. Is this really real? And it was experiences like that that just cemented me into 1, yes, you are good enough, 2, you are equipped, and 3, this is only the beginning. And so the journey began at Morehouse, it began in Atlanta. I've grown close to a lot of artists that I revere and admire, and this journey is really just beginning. Looking back, I remember I always wanted to sing, and that's what I was doing from Spelman to Clark Atlanta to Morehouse to ITC to Agnes Scott to almost every college in Metro Atlanta. I was there at an open mic at a concert, and everybody was like, who is this boy with all this hair on his head? Because I used to wear my hair on a big afro.
How does it feel? Just let me know tonight.
Who is this boy that's always singing? And I knew, I was like, while I'm here, I want to soak in every moment, soak in every experience. And there I began to go to the studio and meet great people, great songwriters, and I just began to really refine my creativity, my talents. And I'll never will forget a huge turning moment in my life. VH1 basically partnered with Morehouse and had this awesome concert titled VH1 Save the Music, and they chose different collegiate artists, and I fortunately was one of the ones that was chosen. And I just remember it was so much excitement, it was so much anxiety, it was so much just anticipation for the show. And as it happened, I was the last artist to perform, so I was like, oh my god, I gotta close out the show. I hope that it goes well. I didn't want to suck, I didn't want to bomb, but I just remember I was in the dressing room and I told myself, this is your moment, this is the time for you to really own it and, you know, shine. And I remember just walking out on stage and performing my heart out, and it was almost crazy how fast people got out of their seats and flooded like the stage, and they were just cheering and beating on the stage and screaming my name. And it was it was a moment that I'll never forget, because it was that moment that was like, oh my goodness, yes, this is what you're supposed to be doing for the rest of your life.
1, 2, 3, sing it!
And I remember going on after VH1 to really beginning to refine who is Keeyen Martin as a singer, the artist, the performer. And I was very successful and released my publishing company, K Phoenix Music Publishing, under ASCAP offices who are in Atlanta. And I remember I had a brand launch party, and one of my first successes via social media was How Does It Feel, Untitled, performed by the great, incredible D'Angelo. And I remember for years people were like, oh my goodness, that's the boy that sang How Does It Feel? Can you sing that song? And it was just a beautiful ride. It was a beautiful moment for people to respect you. And Absolutely. I was forever and will forever be flattered just because D'Angelo is incomparable. So to be compared to him, that's a great look. Continuing on from an awesome journey, I remember from performing in the AUC, it allowed me to get exposed to Atlanta. I remember going on to meet great people and singing with great people, from Stevie Wonder to Michelle Williams of Destiny's Child to Ruben Studdard to Fantasia Barrino, and meeting all these wonderful dynamic artists and singers, and to be in a room in a setting with them is very humbling, because you're like, can somebody pinch me and tell me that this is real? But it was. And I remember after I graduated to be asked back as the opener for the incredible Miss L. Varner. I had such a great time meeting her and talking to her and opening for, it was the Neo Soul concert that most HBCUs always have concerts for, the homecoming week. And that was huge. I mean, the auditorium was packed to capacity with people, and it was one of my first times publicly performing original music on a grand scale, and to see people singing along with you, these are just moments that you can't prepare for. You just have to enjoy them. They happen, they're real, and yeah, enjoy them.
See, now that I have you here, I just want to make it clear. Hey, see, you're the one I hold dear. No worries, ain't got no fears.
So who is Keeyen Martin? I remember vividly the artist Keeyen Martin really became official when I wrote my very first song. Well, not my very first song. My first song to really be received in, I guess, a major way and be released. Can It Be Restored? Can It Be Restored to date is one of my favorite records just because it's a love story. One of the most common lines that people love is love sustains, but can it be restored? And that was a powerful question that I asked myself, that I asked friends. And with all of my songwriting, I always kind of take messages out of context and want to paint the picture. And I remember
Try to move forward, but words expressed from you deter the progress of what's hoped to be of you and me and we.
I remember meeting a phenomenal artist, Miss Avery Sunshine. Like, she is my heart. She's a mentor, a friend, and she just told me, she was like, "You're brilliant, you're amazing, like keep going what you do, and you know, your consistency is going to pay off." And another artist, Mr. Rudy Currents, who is my big brother, shout outs to him. Love that dude. He's extremely gifted vocally, musically, writing. He's just one of the most amazing musicians and singers I've ever met. And he took me under his wing, and I got to sing background for him a few times. And I remember from those experiences, it just allowed me to really develop that sense of confidence. Yeah, you are good enough. Yeah, you are capable. And there are people that believe your art. So don't do them an injustice. Give them your best. And my manager, who's really played a huge role, B Brown, shout outs to B Brown. I had the awesome privilege of meeting him at an ASCAP holiday party. You know, a lot of interesting parties. It's a lot of people there that, you know, you see and meet, mingle, and network. And I remember just his energy and the chemistry we had from a conversation the next day, or maybe it was like a few weeks after, we had a meeting at Starbucks. And to date, he's been my manager, and I owe him so much just because he has been so kind and in believing in me and supporting me on this journey. Also, Mr. Ralph Edward is amazing. He's like the greatest friend, branding, photographer, videographer, chef, everything. He literally does everything, and he does it so well. He treats my art and my gift as though it's his own, and none of this would be possible without Red Brand Productions. Amazing. So, you know, I think the future certainly holds a lot. It's so weird to kind of be like, wow, I've kind of done a whole lot of stuff, and it's like, well, what's going to be next? And I know that success is going to be next. Longevity is going to be next. There's a whole lot that I have to offer, so y'all have to hang on to this journey because this story is just getting started.